Let me ask you this directly. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you hesitated? How many conversations ended with that hollow feeling of being misunderstood? How many times have you left a room feeling more invisible than when you entered? That ends today. Right here. Right now. By the time you finish this book, you'll carry yourself with a new kind of gravity. One that makes people naturally lean in when you speak. That opens doors without you having to push. That attracts opportunities as naturally as sunlight draws flowers from the earth. You'll discover how to turn your unique qualities into your greatest strengths, transforming what you once saw as weaknesses into powerful tools for connection. But I need you to make me a promise first. Look me in the eye through these words and tell me you're ready. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines. Ready to stop wondering what might have been. Ready to step into the center of your own life and claim the space you've always deserved. The power to become magnetic isn't hidden in some secret society or complex technique. It's been waiting in plain sight all along, woven into the very fabric of your being. The proof? That subtle shift in your breathing as you listen to these words, that's your first clue. Notice it. That's where your transformation begins. Introduction. The gravity you sense in others and long for yourself. Let's be honest. You've felt it. You've been in a meeting, a social gathering, or even a coffee shop, and there was that person. They didn't need to command attention with a loud voice or flashy clothes. They simply had it. When they spoke, people didn't just hear them. They leaned in. They listened. Opportunities seemed to find them. Trust was given to them freely. A sense of calm authority radiated from them, not as arrogance, but as a simple, unshakable fact. You observed this, and a part of you, perhaps a part you're hesitant to admit, wondered, what do they have that I don't? You might have called it charisma, charm, or presence. But the true name for it is personal magnetism. And for too long, you've been sold a lie about it. You've been told it's a genetic lottery, a gift bestowed on a lucky few, the extroverts, the gorgeous, the brilliant. You are here because a deeper part of you knows that's not true. You are here because you have glimpsed this gravity in people who break that mold, and you have felt the faintest echo of it within yourself in your most confident moments. That echo is your proof. It is not a question of acquisition, but of awakening. This magnetic pull you sense is not magic. It is physics. It is the natural, observable result of a person whose inner world is aligned. There is no gap between what they believe, what they say, and what they do. This congruence creates a frequency of authenticity so rare in our world of performance and curation that it acts as a gravitational force. People are drawn to it, often without knowing why, because it feels like truth. It feels like safety. In a world of shaky foundations, a person who is solid and real is a place others want to stand. This means that the frantic pursuit of external validation, the right thing to wear, the right thing to say, the right hobby to have, is not just futile. It is actively working against you. It is you trying to borrow gravity from external sources, when the true source is within. Every time you perform a version of yourself you think will be liked, you leak a little of your own power. You diffuse your own signal. Magnetism isn't about adding something to yourself. It is the powerful, radiant result of subtracting everything that is not you. This book is a guide to that subtraction. We are going to move from the outside-in model of influence to the inside-out reality of magnetic attraction. This is a Stoic journey. It requires the courage to confront the parts of yourself you have hidden away, and the discipline to choose alignment over ease, again and again. We will build an unshakable core of self-worth that does not beg for permission. We will master the art of focused presence, making everyone you speak to feel like the most important person in the room. We will unlock the power of a calibrated silence that speaks louder than words. This is not about learning to manipulate others. Manipulation is a cheap trick that creates followers and drains your energy. Magnetism is an authentic state of being that creates allies and energizes everyone in its field, including you. The reward is a life not of chasing, but of attracting respect, opportunities, deep connections, and a profound sense of inner peace. You are about to learn that the most powerful pull comes not from trying to be magnetic, but from the audacious decision to be fully, completely yourself. And that is a force the world has no choice but to notice. Chapter 1. The Bedrock of Being. Why your flaws are your greatest asset. Let's get one thing straight, right now. Your pursuit of magnetism will fail if it is built on a foundation of self-rejection. You cannot hope to project an aura that attracts others if you are constantly at war with the person projecting it. I need you to understand this at the deepest level. The goal is not to become a flawless, polished statue. Statues are cold, distant, and untouchable. People don't connect with statues. They admire them from a distance. The goal is to become a warm, real, human presence. And humanity is beautifully, magnificently flawed. Every single one of your perceived imperfections, the awkward laugh, the past mistake, the skill you haven't mastered, is not a barrier to your magnetism. It is the very thing that makes it accessible. It is your point of connection. Think of the people you feel most drawn to in your life. Are they perfect? Or are they gloriously, authentically themselves, quirks and all? We are drawn to people who give us permission to be real, and the only way to give that permission is to be real first. This means you must end the civil war within. The energy you spend hiding your insecurities, masking your uncertainties, and performing confidence is energy that is utterly wasted. It is a drain on your personal power. Imagine the sheer force you would unleash if you could redirect every ounce of that energy outward into genuine connection and passionate engagement with the world. That redirection begins with radical acceptance. It is not about resigning yourself to your flaws. It is about embracing them as integral parts of your unique architecture. That scar is a map of a battle you survived. That nervousness is a signal that you care deeply. That gap in your knowledge is an opportunity for curiosity. When you accept these things, a miraculous thing happens. The need to perform evaporates. The armor comes off. And without that armor, people can finally touch the real you. They can feel the authenticity emanating from you. And it is that feeling, not a perfect facade, that they will find irresistible. Your first assignment is one of courageous honesty. I want you to think of one thing about yourself you routinely try to hide or compensate for. Maybe it's a lack of formal education in your field, a shyness in large groups, or a physical feature you're self-conscious about. Now, I want you to reframe it, not as a weakness, but as a unique feature of your landscape. Your shyness isn't a deficit. It's the source of your deep listening skills. Your lack of a degree isn't a shortcoming. It's proof of your unconventional path and practical intelligence. Today, I challenge you to stop hiding it. In a conversation, if it feels relevant, lean into it. Say, "You know, I'm not the loudest person in the room, so I've learned to listen closely to what really matters." Feel the vulnerability in that moment. That vulnerability is not weakness. It is the bedrock of true strength. It is the first and most important step in building a magnetism that is unshakably, undeniably yours. Chapter 2. The Architecture of Presence. How to own a room without saying a word. Before you utter a single word, you have already spoken volumes. Your body is broadcasting a message on a continuous loop, a silent frequency that others unconsciously tune into. This is your presence, the non-negotiable foundation of your magnetic field. It is the difference between entering a room and having it somehow feel fuller, and entering a room only to be overlooked. You might believe this is an innate trait, something you either have or you don't. I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, that it is a skill. It is the skill of collecting your scattered energy and bringing it entirely into the present moment. When your mind is here, your body can't help but follow. Your posture changes. Your gaze steadies. Your movements become intentional. This collected energy is palpable. It signals to others that you are not easily rattled, that you are competent, and that you are truly here with them. In a world of distracted half-presence, someone who is fully accounted for is a rare and powerful force. Think of the last time you were in a tense situation. There was likely one person who remained calm. They didn't necessarily have all the answers, but their demeanor alone changed the temperature of the room. They became the eye of the storm. This is not a magical gift. It is a trained state of being. They have done the internal work to anchor themselves so deeply in their own core that external turbulence cannot uproot them. This is the Stoic heart of magnetic presence. The disciplined focus on what you can control. Your breath, your posture, your focus, and the serene acceptance of what you cannot. A person whose energy is reaching outward, desperately seeking validation or approval, is inherently off-center. Their presence is shaky, needy, and weak. We are not drawn to neediness. We are repelled by it. We are drawn to those who are their own anchor, who offer the quiet gift of their stable, undivided attention. I want you to practice building this architecture right now. Wherever you are, feel your feet flat on the floor. Take a breath that fills your belly, not just your chest. On the exhale, imagine roots growing from your feet, down through the floors, into the earth itself, anchoring you. Your thoughts will try to drift to what you need to do later, to an awkward thing you said earlier. This is normal. Gently, without any judgment, guide them back to the feeling of your breath and the solidity of the ground beneath you. This is not just meditation. This is weight training for your presence. You are building the muscle of being here now. Do this for 1 minute, 3 times today. Before you walk into your next meeting, before you start a conversation, take 10 seconds to anchor yourself. You are not preparing a performance. You are collecting your energy. You are moving from a state of reaction to a state of response. This simple, disciplined practice will do more for your magnetism than any clever line you could ever memorize. It signals to the world and to yourself that you are home. Chapter 3. The Calibrated Silence. Why listening is your greatest weapon of influence. We live in a world that worships the speaker. We are taught to articulate, to debate, to present. But in our obsession with being heard, we have completely neglected the far more powerful art of listening. Real listening. Not the kind where you just wait for your turn to talk, but the kind where you fully descend into the world of the person speaking to you. This is not a passive act. It is the most active and generous thing you can do for another human being, and it is, without question, your most underestimated tool for building magnetic influence. When you truly listen, you give someone a profound gift. The experience of feeling completely seen, heard, and understood. In that moment, you are not just a person they are talking to. You become a sanctuary. And people are fiercely, instinctively loyal to those who provide them with sanctuary. Think about the last conversation you had where you felt truly heard. Not just heard, but gotten. How did you feel about the person you were speaking to? You likely felt a surge of connection, of trust, of warmth. You were drawn to them. That is the magnetic pull of a master listener. They wield silence not as an emptiness, but as a space for you to exist fully. They are not formulating their response while you talk. They are exploring the landscape of your words. They listen for what is not being said, the hesitation, the emotion behind the words, the hidden meaning. This level of attention is so rare that it becomes a superpower. When you finally do speak, your words will land with incredible weight because they will be informed by this deep understanding. You will ask the one question that cuts to the heart of the matter. You will offer the one observation that makes them feel known. This is how you build influence, not by talking, but by understanding. Your challenge is to enter your next conversation with a new objective. Your sole goal is to understand the other person's world. Let go of your agenda. Let go of your brilliant point. Let go of your need to impress. Simply be present with them. Listen to their words, but also watch their body language. Hear the emotion in their voice. And when there is a pause, resist the urge to fill it immediately. Let the silence hang for a beat. Often, the most important thing a person will say emerges from that fertile silence. This will feel uncomfortable at first. Your ego will scream that you need to be talking to be valuable. Starve that ego. Your value in that moment is your attention. Practice this and watch what happens. Watch how people open up to you. Watch how they lean in. Watch how they leave the conversation feeling better, lighter, and more connected to you. They won't remember the witty thing you said. They will remember how you made them feel: intelligent, interesting, and important. And they will associate that feeling with you. That is not influence. That is magnetism. Chapter 4. The Stoic's Anchor. Building a core that cannot be shaken by external noise. Your magnetic field is not some external aura you project onto the world. It is a radiation that emanates from your very center. It is the natural consequence of a core that is solid, certain, and self-defined. If that center is shaky, reactive, and dependent on the ever-changing opinions of others, your magnetism will be weak and inconsistent. It will flicker with every compliment and be extinguished by every piece of criticism. You will become a leaf, tossed in the fierce wind of external validation. And let me be clear, people are not drawn to leaves. They are drawn to rocks. They are drawn to the unmovable object in the stream, the one that stands firm while everything else rushes past. The ancient Stoics understood this principle better than any modern self-help guru. Their entire philosophy was an operating system for building an internal citadel so strong that no external event, no praise, no blame, no triumph, no disaster could ever breach its walls. This is not about becoming emotionless or cold. It is about achieving a state of profound inner sovereignty where your sense of self-worth is determined by you and you alone. This unshakable core is the generator of true, reliable magnetism. When you know, in the deepest part of your being, who you are and what you stand for, you stop looking to others to tell you. That desperate neediness vanishes. What is left is a calm, confident energy that is incredibly attractive because it is so rare and so safe. It tells people, without a word, that you are a place of stability. To achieve this, you must undertake the most important work of your life. You must become the sole author of your self-worth. Right now, you likely have a list of external metrics you use to measure your value. You look to your job title, your social media likes, your salary, your relationship status, the approval of your peers. These are weak anchors. They are outside of your control. A storm of layoffs, a shift in the market, a change in someone's feelings. These events can take your anchors away in an instant, and if they are all that is holding you up, you will collapse. Your core must be built on something far more resilient. It must be built on virtues, on qualities of character, that you, and only you, can always control. Your integrity, your courage, your discipline, your willingness to learn, your capacity for kindness. These are your true anchors. Your worth is not a noun to be found. It is a verb to be practiced. Did you tell the truth today, even when it was difficult and costly? That is a win. Anchor yourself to that feeling of integrity. Did you show up and do the work that mattered, even when you felt afraid or uninspired? That is a win. Anchor yourself to that act of discipline. Did you treat someone with unwavering respect, even when they did not deserve it? That is a win. Anchor yourself to that commitment to your principles. This requires a daily ritual of reorientation. At the end of each day, I want you to sit in a quiet space and ask yourself a set of questions that have nothing to do with what the world gave you, and everything to do with what you gave the world. Inquire whether you acted with integrity even in the smallest of matters. Ask yourself if you practiced courage by facing a fear or having a difficult conversation. Reflect on whether you contributed something of genuine value, not for recognition, but because it was the right thing to do. This practice is not about self-judgment. It is about self-authorship. It systematically rewires your brain to source its validation from within. As you build this core, day by day, you will notice a fundamental shift in your experience of the world. Criticism will lose its destructive sting, because your worth is no longer on the table for debate. Praise will feel nice, but it will not be a necessary nutrient for your survival. You will begin to move through the world with a new, unassailable calm. This calm is not passive or quiet. It is deafeningly powerful. It is the sound of a person who is finally, undeniably, free. And that freedom, the freedom from needing anyone's permission to feel whole, is the most magnetic force on earth. It draws people, opportunities, and peace toward you. Not because you are grabbing for them, but because you have become the kind of ground they can safely settle upon. Chapter 5. The Language of Certainty. How to speak with a conviction that commands respect. The words you choose are only the surface level of communication. Beneath them, transmitted on a frequency everyone can feel but few can name, is the energy of your conviction. You can say the most brilliant thing in the world, but if it is laced with hesitation, self-doubt, or the desperate need for approval, it will land with a thud. Conversely, you can speak a simple, straightforward truth with absolute certainty, and it will silence a room and command respect. This is not about having a booming voice or a vast vocabulary. It is about the profound alignment between your belief and your expression. It is about the removal of the static of uncertainty. When you speak from a place of inner knowing, your words carry a weight that cannot be faked. They resonate with the truth of your core, and that vibration is unmistakable. People might disagree with what you say, but they will be forced to respect how you say it. This language of certainty is a critical pillar of your magnetism. It tells the world that you have done the thinking, that you trust your own judgment, and that you are not waiting for a committee to tell you what is right. This certainty is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud, brittle, and insecure. It is a performance designed to mask doubt. It needs to be the smartest person in the room. Certainty is quiet, calm, and unshakable. It is a deep knowing that allows for curiosity and the possibility of being wrong. A person of true certainty can say, "I don't know," with total comfort, because their identity isn't tied to knowing everything. Their identity is tied to their commitment to the truth. This is what makes their voice so compelling. They are not defending a fragile ego. They are exploring reality. To speak with this kind of conviction, you must first do the internal work. You must interrogate your own beliefs. Why do you believe what you believe? Is it because you were told to, or because you have thought it through, lived it, and found it to be true? You must be willing to change your mind when presented with new evidence, because certainty rooted in dogma is just fear in disguise. The goal is not to be right. The goal is to be rooted. Rooted in your values, rooted in your process, and rooted in your willingness to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. Begin to practice this in your daily conversations. Before you speak, take a breath and connect to your core. Ask yourself, do I truly believe what I am about to say? If the answer is no, have the courage to be silent or to say, I'm still figuring out my thoughts on that. Your words will become more sparse, but infinitely more powerful. When you do speak, slow down. Drop the verbal crutches that dilute your power, the justs, the kind ofs, the I'm not sure buts. You don't need to oversell it or package it in 1,000 qualifiers. Let it stand on its own. You will feel a difference. You will feel the energy in the room shift toward you. People will stop multitasking and start listening. They will sense that your words are not just opinions tossed into the wind, but reflections of a considered life. This is how you build a reputation as a person of substance. This is how your voice becomes an instrument of influence, not through volume, but through its undeniable resonance with truth. You are not seeking to be heard. You are ensuring that what you say is worth hearing. Chapter 6. The Art of the Unseen. Making others feel like the most important person in the world. We have spent chapters building your core, your presence, your voice. Now, we turn this power outward, not to dominate, but to elevate. The pinnacle of personal magnetism is not about how you make yourself feel. It is about how you make others feel in your presence. And the most magnetic people in the world have mastered one simple, transformative art. They make everyone they interact with feel truly seen, heard, and understood. They make you feel, for the duration of your interaction, like you are the most important person in the world. This is not a manipulative technique. It is a profound generosity of attention. In a world where everyone is starved for real connection, where glances are stolen by phone screens and conversations are interrupted by notifications, the gift of your full, undivided attention is a superpower. It is the ultimate expression of respect and the fastest way to build deep, lasting trust and loyalty. This art, the art of the unseen, is about moving the spotlight off of yourself and onto the other person. It is the conscious decision to be more interested than you are interesting. Most people enter conversations waiting for their turn to talk. They are composing their story, their opinion, their witty retort while the other person is speaking. This is a transaction, not a connection. The magnetic individual does the opposite. They descend fully into the world of the person speaking. They listen not just to the words, but to the emotion behind them. They watch the body language. They hear the pauses and the hesitations. They are fully present, seeking only to understand. When you do this, you are no longer just two people exchanging data. You are two human beings connecting on a fundamental level. The person speaking feels it instantly. They feel the space you are holding for them. They feel the safety of your non-judgmental attention. In that safety, they open up. They reveal their true thoughts, their real challenges, their genuine hopes. You become a confidant, an ally, a sanctuary. Your practice is to become a master of this art. In your next conversation, I want you to make this your only goal. To understand the other person's map of the world. Let go of your need to impress, to relate, or to advise. Simply be a mirror. Listen, nod, ask open-ended questions that come from a genuine place of curiosity. What was that like for you? How did that make you feel? What did you learn from that experience? And then, here is the most crucial part. Embrace the silence. After they finish, do not rush to fill it with your own story. Let the silence hang there. Often, the most important thing a person has to say emerges from that fertile, respectful quiet. You will find that the less you talk about yourself, the more interesting you become. People will leave conversations with you feeling lighter, clearer, and valued. They will not remember the specific details of what you said. They will remember how you made them feel intelligent, interesting, and important. And they will be fiercely drawn to you because you have given them a taste of the one thing everyone wants most: to be truly seen. This is the heart of magnetism. It is not about pulling people toward you. It is about making them feel so valued in your orbit that they never want to leave. Chapter 7. The Energy of Action. How Purpose and Motion create an irresistible pull. A magnetic person is not a static monument. They are not a still point in the universe for others to simply orbit. True magnetism is dynamic. It is a force in motion. It has direction, velocity, and purpose. Think of the most compelling people you know. They are not passive. They are engaged. They are building, creating, learning, and moving toward something. This forward momentum is not just attractive. It is infectious. It creates a wake that pulls others along with its energy. People are naturally drawn to those who are going somewhere because it gives them a sense of possibility. It reminds them that life is not something that happens to you, but something you actively make. Your movement tells a story far more powerful than your words ever could. It says, I am alive, I am in the game, and my life has a direction. In a world of spectators, a person of action is a beacon. This is not about frantic busyness. The world is full of people rushing about, their motion fueled by anxiety, by the fear of missing out, by the need to prove their worth. That kind of motion is chaotic and draining. It repels as much as it attracts. The motion I am speaking of is different. It is purposeful action. It is motion that springs from your core, from your deeply held values and your clear intentions. It is the difference between running in circles and walking purposefully toward a destination. This kind of action is grounded, focused, and powerful. It is the physical manifestation of your inner convictions. When you move through the world in this way, you are no longer asking for permission or waiting for an invitation. You are issuing one. You are inviting others to join you in the meaningful work of building a life. Your action becomes a statement of your belief in the future. Your challenge is to become a person of purposeful motion. This begins with clarity. You must know what you are moving toward. What is the hill you are willing to climb? What is the work that feels so inherently right that you would do it even if no one was watching? This is your North Star. Your daily actions, no matter how small, must be aligned with this direction. Did you take one step today that moved you toward that goal? That is a win. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. It can be a single phone call, 30 minutes of focused study, a page written, a sketch drawn. The size of the action is irrelevant. The direction is everything. This consistent, daily motion generates a compounding energy around you. People will see your commitment. They will see your progress. They will be inspired by your dedication. They will want to be a part of your journey, to contribute to your mission. Because your purposeful action gives their own energy a place to go. You become a catalyst. You are not pulling people toward you. You are pulling them toward a future they want to be a part of, and you are simply the one who had the courage to move first. Your magnetism becomes the byproduct of your meaningful motion. Chapter 8. The Principle of Congruence. Aligning your beliefs, words, and deeds into a powerful force. There is no force more corrosive to magnetism than the gap between what you say and what you do. This gap is hypocrisy, and human beings are exquisitely, intuitively tuned to detect it. We may not be able to articulate it, but we feel it. We feel the dissonance. It registers as a lack of trustworthiness, a sense that the person before us is not solid, that their foundation is cracked. You can have the most compelling vision, the most eloquent words, and the most powerful presence. But if your actions are not aligned, your entire magnetic field will short-circuit. Your energy will leak from the disconnect. Congruence, on the other hand, is the ultimate power multiplier. It is the complete alignment of your inner world, your beliefs and values, with your outer world, your words and actions. When these are in harmony, you become a single, unified channel for your energy. There is no waste. There is no internal conflict. Every part of you is pulling in the same direction, and the force this creates is immense and undeniable. This principle of congruence is the bedrock of integrity. It means your yes is a yes, and your no is a no. It means you keep the promises you make to others, and more importantly, the promises you make to yourself. It means you advocate for a value in public, and you live by it in private, when no one is watching. This is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. When you make a mistake and act out of alignment, you acknowledge it, you correct it, and you realign. This process of acknowledging and correcting is, in itself, a powerful act of congruence. It proves that your commitment to your values is stronger than your commitment to your ego. This kind of integrity generates a profound level of trust. People know what to expect from you. They know where you stand. They know that your word is your bond. In a world of shifting alliances and situational ethics, a congruent person is a rare and reliable constant. This reliability is incredibly attractive. It provides a sense of safety and predictability that allows deep connections to form. Your work is to become a relentless auditor of your own congruence. This requires brutal self-honesty. At the end of each day, you must confront the gaps. Where did I say one thing and do another? Where did I compromise a core value for convenience or approval? Where did I break a promise to myself? Do not use this audit as a weapon for self-flagellation. Use it as a tool for realignment. See the gap not as a failure, but as a navigational error. Correct your course. The goal is not to never be off course. The goal is to have a sensitive enough instrument panel to know when you are, and the discipline to immediately steer back. As you practice this, the gaps will become smaller and less frequent. You will feel yourself becoming more solid, more integrated. The internal noise of conflict will quiet, and the clear signal of your purpose will strengthen. People will feel this integration. They may not know why, but they will feel they can trust you implicitly. They will feel the power of your wholeness. Your magnetism will cease to be something you try to project, and will simply become the undeniable reality of who you are. A person whose inside and outside are finally and completely one. Chapter 9. The Magnetism of Peace. Why a calm center is the ultimate source of attraction. In the midst of chaos, a calm person is a magnet. In the heart of anxiety, a peaceful presence is a refuge. We have spent this entire journey building your power, your voice, your action. Now, we come to the most potent and paradoxical source of magnetism, a profound and unshakable inner peace. This is not the peace of a quiet life. It is the peace of a well-ordered mind in the midst of the storm. It is the serenity that comes from knowing, to your very core, that you can handle whatever life brings. This peace is not passive or weak. It is a formidable strength. It is the eye of the hurricane, still, silent, and powerful, while chaos whirls around it. This kind of calm is not something you fake. It is not a surface-level placidity. It is the deep, quiet hum of a person who has made peace with uncertainty, who has accepted that they cannot control the world, only their response to it. This acceptance is not resignation. It is liberation. It frees up an enormous amount of energy previously wasted on resistance and worry. This deep calm is magnetic because it is a resource. In any situation, people are subconsciously scanning for resources. Who has the answers? Who has the energy? Who has the stability? A person radiating a calm presence is subconsciously identified as a resource of safety. They become a human anchor. In their presence, others feel their own heart rates slow, their own anxieties quiet. They feel, without a word being spoken, that everything might actually be okay. This is an incredibly valuable thing to offer. People will be drawn to you, not for what you can do for them, but for how you make them feel calmer, clearer, and more capable. Your peace becomes a gift you give to everyone around you. Furthermore, a calm center allows for clarity of thought. When you are not reactive, you can be responsive. You can see solutions where others only see problems. You can make decisions from a place of wisdom, not fear. This capability, born from peace, makes you a natural leader and a sought-after ally. Cultivating this peace is the ultimate Stoic practice. It is the daily discipline of returning to your anchor. It is the conscious decision to withdraw your energy from the things you cannot control and reinvest it in the things you can, your breath, your focus, your virtues. It is the practice of pausing before reacting. It is the habit of widening your perspective, of asking, will this matter in a year? When you feel the pull of anxiety, of drama, of external chaos, your practice is to not get hooked. Observe it, acknowledge it, but do not let it inside your citadel. This is a muscle that must be trained relentlessly. Start with small things. When you are stuck in traffic, practice calm. When you receive a frustrating email, practice calm, breathe, anchor. Remember what is yours to control and what is not. Over time, this becomes your default state. You will move through the world with a quiet, steady power that nothing can disrupt. And in doing so, you will become a sanctuary for others and for yourself. You will discover that the most powerful pull comes not from force, but from stillness. The world will rush toward your peace, desperate for a taste of it. Chapter 10. The Irresistible Life. Integrating your power and living as a beacon, not a flash. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Everything we have explored, the authenticity, the presence, the listening, the core, the certainty, the generosity, the action, the congruence, the peace, these are not separate tools to be pulled out on occasion. They are facets of a single, integrated way of being. They are the elements of your new operating system. The goal was never to learn how to be magnetic for an hour at a party. The goal is to become a person whose very existence is magnetic, to live a life that is irresistibly your own. This means the work is never done. It is a practice, a daily recommitment to showing up as your fullest, most powerful self. It is the choice, every single day, to build your life on the solid ground of your values, rather than the shifting sand of external validation. This is how you transition from being a flash in the pan, a brief, bright light that fades to a beacon on a hill, a steady, reliable source of light that guides and attracts from miles away. A beacon does not chase the storms, it weathers them. It does not beg for attention. It earns it by its constant, unwavering presence. Your life, lived congruently and peacefully, becomes that beacon. You will attract people, not because you are trying to, but because they are inspired by the way you live. You will attract opportunities, not because you are scrambling for them, but because you are the obvious person for the task. You will attract peace, not because your life is perfect, but because you have built an inner sanctuary that no outer circumstance can destroy. This is the ultimate magnetic pull. It is the pull of a life well lived. It is the pull of integrity in action. It is the pull of a person who has done the hard work of self-mastery and now offers the world not their neediness, but their gift. So walk forward from this moment, not as a student who has graduated, but as a practitioner who has just begun. Your life is your practice. Every interaction is your gym. Every challenge is your test. Every day is a chance to choose alignment over ease, to choose courage over comfort, to choose generosity over scarcity. Do not seek to be magnetic. Seek to be real. Seek to be whole. Seek to be useful. The magnetism will follow as surely as the dawn follows the night. It will be the natural, unavoidable consequence of a soul operating in its full power. You are no longer a spectator in your own life. You are the author. You are the center. You are the beacon. Now go and shine your light. The world is waiting, and it is desperate for what you have to offer. Not a performance, but a person. Fully, authentically, and irresistibly, you.